Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything witty. So
I got mauled by my own dog yesterday.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I have like scratches all over my face. I don't know if you can see them.
I see your dog
Dog
got
plays
my
rough.
message.
She cheats,
Yeah, that's good. But your dog should bite you more often. I'm sure you deserved it.
It was all done in fun. Unfortunately, that's all the tools she has to play with: teeth and claws.
No thumbs. That's a big
Yeah, there's
downer.
no thumb. They're right. She can't build tools.
She's not going fishing. That's all
unfortunate.
I'm saying. No fishing. No fishing. Paul, have you tried the new Mario Kart game?
No, I'm not. Mario Kart was in another region for me. I was a big fan of the original Nintendo. I played through all the first three Mario games. The side scrollers. I played those all through multiple times in some cases. Never got a Super Nintendo. Played with the Nintendo 64, but the whole Mario Kart thing.
Yeah,
that was like kind of after, and I guess I moved on to, I don't know, Amiga, PC, whatever. It was never a thing.
Yeah, there was a fly down here. Yeah, so unlike you, I was born not in the
In
black
this
and white
century.
era.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so I played a lot of Mario Kart. It was like a big game in middle school.
So where did it originate? What was the console or whatever?
I think the Super Nintendo, but it became really big for me at least on the Nintendo 64. So you plug the four controllers in, and I had two brothers, so we played it a lot, and then friends and all that.
I think the Genesis was a bigger deal for me back then. I think that's what it was. It was like Genesis versus Super Nintendo.
Yeah, anyway, somewhere around there. Anyways.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
So I had high hopes for this game, and I think Nintendo ruined it. I think they did.
Yeah. It was it managed to be brutal in just a headline.
So here's the thing. So the game is out, and the game is free, but if you want to unlock all the stuff, it's $4.99 a month. A month. So $60 a year for mobile Mario Kart.
They are kicking and screaming into the mobile era. They just, that's crazy.
And then it's even more like, so what I was hoping for is you'd open the stupid thing, you'd pick a character, Yoshi, because you always pick Yoshi, and then you race. And that's all you do. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to pick Yoshi, and I wanted to race and shoot shells at people. And it's messed up because I think there's a total, unless I'm understanding this incorrectly, 3 in-game currencies. There's these like ticket things. There's rubies, which I think you have to pay for, and then there's also stars, and stars unlock new levels. I think rubies unlock like new characters and things, and then the tickets, like you put them in, and then there's loot box mechanics with it, and it's they took a racing game and just added microtransactions and leveling up in like the worst way possible, and there's so many. Here's the worst part. So you finish a race. I think it's like, no joke, like 10 clicks to get into another race.
Yeah.
And a race only lasts, which is fine. I think the length is fine. A race will last 2 to 3 minutes, which is fine.
Is this an online game like we play against other people, or is it just an offline thing?
I believe it's online.
Yeah.
I'm playing against other people who I'm assuming are other people, but I can't, at least not yet, invite you to come play with me.
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I have seen this game. This type of thing. It's like you jump over things and you kind of go around it, and there's parts where you kind of sail through the air.
Yeah.
There's like coins and stuff.
Yep, but in like the original,
every single racing game,
in
I
the
guess,
Nintendo 64, I don't think there were coins. It was literally just you raced around the track, and then you pick up weapons.
But it was all
on
the
track.
Nintendo characters driving these little cars, like they were kind of oversized. I just never. This was not a thing for me.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I'm aware of it. It's kind of like the Zelda games. Like I know they exist, and they were huge on that first Nintendo, and I just never. It was just not my thing.
Yeah, I do want to get a Switch. Maybe I'll get a Switch Lite at some point. Maybe that'll be my reward for finishing this basement whenever it gets done.
A Switch.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Because if I buy one now, my wife will shoot me. She's like, "You realize you're going to be finishing the basement, and that's going to take you some time."
I do think about the Switch a lot, and I don't know.
Yeah, I have the exact same way. Like, there's a couple games I want to play, but is it worth it?
So is it Mario Kart Tour? That's the name of this thing?
Yes, that's the game. And if you don't have a Nintendo account, God help you, because it's a pain in the butt to set up.
They are they seem incapable of understanding you can turn a phone sideways.
I know that is the other thing too. It's only
A racing game needs to be landscape.
right, and the other the control is a little weird too because you just put your thumb on the screen, and you may not even have to have your thumb on the screen, and it just drives, and you just steer, and that's
so you kind of just move your finger.
Yeah, which it's fine. I'm not too upset about that, but I really would like landscape mode. Portrait is not.
You should be able to buy the thing straight out too. That's stupid.
You should. You should. I would.
This is the. It's like a tax because you didn't buy Nintendo hardware.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Eventually you'll pay. You'll have paid for a Switch.
Yeah.
You just won't own one.
And other things happening. The xCloud beta is now. Well, you can now sign up for it, but it's pretty restricted. You got to have an
throw
Android.
Your hat in a lottery, and hope they pull it.
You got to have an Android phone that's running 6.0 or higher, Bluetooth 4.0, and a Bluetooth Xbox controller. And yeah.
Right. Which it's funny because that fit the Xbox controller in their photo, the one you have behind you. What that looks like to me is the old Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have Bluetooth. But I mean, they must have revved it. It's just a black controller.
Yeah.
I get it. But it looks, it must be identical looking because I have one here. I think this is my original, or one of my original Xbox One controllers. But this one doesn't have Bluetooth. It doesn't have the headphone thing.
Yep. So there you go. Basically, you got to drop your name into the lottery pool and get lucky, and that's going to be your best way to get in. So
I looked at the forum, and they ask you a couple of questions. One of the questions is, "What kind of phone do you have?" And I'm thinking to myself, will this answer determine whether or not I get this device, or to get the, get it on the beta? Because so I put it in the OnePlus for mine because I'm like, this is like a gamer phone. Maybe that will help. I don't know.
I don't. The phone shouldn't matter. I mean,
no, you're right. You're right.
Because if it did matter, you would think they would, unless they're just trying to be nice or whatever, they'd specify it needs a Snapdragon 835 as minimum. But that would be. They didn't say that, so.
I mean, they're looking for something. I obviously. Well, I mean, there's an Android version associated with it. I think any modern Android phone would probably be fine, but
yeah, and you can go on Amazon right now for about $130, get a phone that's technically compliant with it. So
yeah, don't recommend doing that.
I don't recommend doing it either. But if somehow you get into this and you don't have an Android phone,
you don't have an Android device.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
Yeah.
So. No, I probably have 10 compatible Android devices. I mean, I'm sure I have plenty, but. I'm looking. I mean, I think the phone thing is neat. Using an actual Xbox controller, with a phone is really interesting. And of course, the thing we keep talking about is you want to be able to mount it on the top. And I suspect there are little cages you can buy that do just that or whatever. But Microsoft should sell one. Frankly, I mean, it'd be kind of neat to have it just integrated. The
other nice thing too is I figured they would have restricted it to Wi-Fi only, but it's any carrier. So they also said they're working with T-Mobile in the U.S. That's kind of concerning for me as a Verizon customer about what that's actually going to mean.
Right. Yeah. They also asked which carrier you have, by the way. And I just put other because oddly, my carrier is not a choice. Bob's Google carrier is just not one of the choices.
Bob's Shack and Signal is not exactly.
Get the hamster going. Download's going slow.
Feed them a little more. And then there's a lot of gaming stuff, actually. So the games with gold were announced yesterday, or Game Pass stuff. And then what else is there? There's the Sony launched an online store. So it's that. So
it's kind of, remember when they moved, or they put physical items into the Microsoft store? Well, they always technically did, but the one I don't even know what to compare this to. It's basically a place online where you can buy physical goods from Sony directly.
Okay.
And it doesn't appear to offer too much of an advantage. If you are a PlayStation, I don't know if it was Plus or whatever the name of it is, customer, you get like free next day shipping. So it's a little bit like Amazon. They have a couple of console bundles you can get that don't appear to be that much money off, like $30 off or something. I don't know. I mean, it's obviously they have an online store where you can buy games digitally. And this is a place where you can buy games and their hardware peripherals and consoles, like physically, like the physical items, so you can buy discs, I guess. So yeah, it's 2019. Sony is starting a store.
It's great, I guess.
It's weird.
Good for them.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot. I mean, the xCloud beta stuff was pretty big, so
The xCloud thing is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this to start.
Yep. And we
I'm
are
really, really interested in this.
technically less than a week away by 1 hour from the Microsoft event.
I'm still trying to decide which laptop I should bring to this. I'm thinking of being devious.
I'm pretty sure I'm bringing this one, the Surface Book 2, because of the video editing capabilities. Will be
Right. If I wasn't feeling devious, I would also bring a Surface Book 2. I don't know. Like I said, I recently brought out the two Surface laptops because I wanted to see if I could update the Surface dock.
Yeah.
I never figured it out. I don't know if you looked at the instructions. It's incredible. It is unbelievable. And there's literally a thing at the end where they're like, to find out if you updated anything, open the registry, navigate to whatever key. Guys, seriously. Seriously. How is this not just a feature of Windows Update?
Yep.
Your dock needs a firmware update. Here it is. Reboot it or whatever you do. Seriously. That's how unsophisticated it is. It's unbelievable. It reads like comedy. It's like someone is like messing with you. Like you read it, you're like, it can't
be that bad.
Really? The manual process involves timing how you unplug it from your device, and then you look at, I swear to God, this is true. You look at the Ethernet port, and there'll be a green light that blinks. And when it's done blinking, plug it back in.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Straightforward, simple. That's what we like.
USB-C, folks. This is why. It's not really why. It's not why. It's one of the whys, but really.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
It is too bad. All right. Well,
all right.
Once again, a person on my roof finishing up for the day. I should probably go make sure that he is. Actually, I think he's almost done. You got anything else for today, Paul?
Yeah.
All right.
One thing. I will say one thing. Yesterday I mentioned I was going to publish my review of the Note 10 Plus, which I did. I think I said it was going to be about 3,000 words. It's actually about 4,000 words. In fact, it's over 4,000 words. It does not cover everything there is to say about this device. Like I said yesterday, remember, it's complicated. And I'm actually sort of wondering if I shouldn't do a little follow-up because there's a bunch of other things I feel like you could it's almost worth discussing. There's a lot actually to say about the camera I didn't say as well.
Long. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot there, And people always, people are nice. They have advice. Like I'll say something like, I mentioned how slow it is to use the fingerprint reader to get to the camera. And actually, you can double click the power button and it goes right to the camera, right? So it's similar to some other phones work like that. Yes, I didn't know that. So that's neat. But, a lot of unfortunately, when it comes to software stuff, the answer is often, you should try a different Android skin. And it's like, guys, I'm trying to use this. It's a Samsung device, So anyway, that's it. There's a lot there. So
fantastic.
I don't know.
It is. I haven't read it yet. I just scrolled it. It's a lot of scrolling.
Like I said, it's what I said yesterday. It's really good, but then there's a but, and then there's a lot of stuff that goes after it, and it's kind of weird. It's a long conversation, so I won't bore you with it. But
no. Everyone should go give that a read. And if you're not going to read that, then you should come back tomorrow and we'll talk about something else.